Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another City Watch. Every city has its dangers. Some are more serious than others. Some are man-made. Some caused by nature. This week, we travel the globe to hear people talking about how these dangers can be prevented. We ask local people to comment on the dangers lurking just around the corner in their part of the world. We start our journey in Melbourne, Australia. So I take it that fires are the main problem here. Is that correct?
Yes, there are more and more forest fires every year. It's not good at all, and they're getting bigger and more destructive. We've already had 3 major fires this year, and it's only February. People have lost their homes, their businesses, but luckily no one's lost their life, yet. And the tragic thing is, they're so easy to start. It only takes one cigarette thrown out of a car window to start a catastrophe here. The land is dry, and the heat is intense. One of the biggest problems is a sudden change in the wind direction. If the wind is blowing in the wrong direction, it can be fatal. Most local people are aware of all this, but sometimes tourists or people from the city don't understand the dangers. Maybe they haven't traveled in the bush before. Maybe they don't know the dangers. So we have to keep campaigning.
Thanks. And now to an area where a terrible natural disaster took place not so long ago. Phuket in Thailand. What's being done to take precautions in the future?
The terrible tsunami that came in 2004 caught us all by surprise. Luckily, we haven't seen anything like it since then, but we all know it could happen again. Locals and tourists need to know what to do in case there is another tsunami. We've built new evacuation sites, and we've put up signs like this to mark the sites very clearly. Look, here's one. As you can see, the sign shows that you need to get to higher ground, above the waves. We've built more shelters on higher ground as well.
That sounds good. Sometimes more minor accidents involving water can occur. Our next visit is to the English countryside. What's the problem here?
Well, Norfolk is very prone to flooding. The land is very flat and very low. When it rains, roads and bridges can flood very quickly, and these flash floods have become more and more common recently. Warnings of flash floods in the area are always broadcast on the TV and the radio, but too many people ignore the alerts. They go out in their cars without thinking and then get stuck when the water level rises. Here, the weather can change very fast. We get torrential rain, and on flatlands like this, that's dangerous. The water can move at quite a speed, and the strong currents can carry away cars and other vehicles. This sign is fairly new. We've put up a lot of them in the area. We want to make sure people don't just ignore the sign, so we've given it a humorous message. Hopefully, that way they won't forget.
Right. And finally, the kind of disaster that doesn't happen very often and a sign that certainly is alarming. We finish our tour in Recife, on the northeast coast of Brazil. We interviewed a resident of Boa Viagem Beach, where the main danger lurks. And what a danger.
As you can see, the sign really hasn't made any difference. People haven't stopped coming to the beach. There hasn't been a fatal attack on this beach yet this year, thankfully. And I suppose maybe until there is one, they'll just keep swimming in the ocean.
Have you ever seen a shark attack?
No, I haven't. I've seen sharks in the water and they come up really close to the shore. But we've always been able to warn people in time. I have never actually seen one attack a person, but we all know they can and do.
So why do people continue to swim here?
They think if they aren't swimming in deep water, it's okay, as long as they stay close to the shore. But when there are sharks around, an attack can happen anytime, anywhere. We've put up more signs and we've visited the local schools and told the kids of the danger. They're the ones who take the most risks. Kids and tourists. That's why the signs are also in English. For the tourists, of course.